Today we're talking about something that I've been wanting to talk about for a hot second, and that is my experience working on Phantom of the Opera and Opera Australia. Most people would probably know it as the Phantom of the Opera on Sydney Harbour. For those who don't know me, my name is Monique. I am a tech who works in Australia. I've been working in live entertainment for the last many years, and for the last 2 years I've been working in professional theatre as a radio mic technician. I started this YouTube channel to talk about my experience working in the arts, my job, the lifestyle related around it, because when I was entering the industry, there were things I wanted to know about it. There were things that I would have appreciated and benefited from seeing that I couldn't find anywhere. There was no one discussing the experience of working backstage in these industries, so I wanted to fill that gap myself. This is something I thought about doing for years and years and years, but that I only started doing last year in June, which is incredibly unfortunate because before June of 2022, I did 2 shows that people would probably absolutely have loved to have seen. One of them was Hamilton, and one of them was this production of Phantom of the Opera Outside. I then moved on to work a tour of Phantom of the Opera, so people were always talking to me about working on this production and what it was like, and there was videos of it that went viral. And as much as I hate that I wasn't making content in that time, because I think it would have been so interesting, it would have been so much fun to have that to look back on as well. I am a Gen Z and I am chronically online, so my Instagram is full of content, videos, photos, stories of my time working on this show. And so I thought today we would take a trip down memory lane together while I talk about the show and my experience working on it. And I'm just going to go through my Instagram and show you all of the things that I posted about it, all the photos I took, all of the videos and stories that I posted. If you have any questions, leave them below and I can make a part 2 answering those, but I'm going to try and cover as much as I can in this one today. I'm going to refer to the show as Hosh from now, and that is what it is commonly called around Sydney. And that is because its official title is Handa Opera on Sydney Harbour, whatever the show is. Typically it is an opera, but Opera Australia decided to go with Phantom of the Opera for their indoor and their outdoor show last year. Well, it was meant to be the year before. We'll get into it. How did I get involved? So I was contracted to begin working on the Phantom of the Opera indoor tour. We went into another lockdown that lasted for 4 months, and in the process of that lockdown, the show was postponed for a year. The associate sound designer, Shelley Lee, who I've worked with on many shows since then, spoke to me and said that there was a couple of other shows that she could use me on in the meantime while we waited for that show. One of them was Mary Poppins, and the other one was this outdoor production of Phantom. So I continued working on Come From Away and Hamilton until the end of February 2022. And then March 10th, I did my first day working on Hosh. For the first couple of days, I went to watch rehearsals of the cast rehearsing the show. Then I began the bump in on site with the rest of the crew. We bumped in and did tech and previews, and we opened the show on the 25th of March, 2022. The show closed on the 24th of April, 2022. The show only goes for a month, 6 shows a week. We only have a nighttime show, obviously, because we need it to be dark to do lighting for the show. So I was the radio mic tech, which meant that I was responsible for the building of and management of the microphones on the cast during the show. And these are all of the things that I posted in the process of being part of it. I'm literally just looking at my Instagram on my phone. That is why I'm looking down, but I'll be putting the screen for my phone here. This selfie was my first day watching rehearsals, which is not that thrilling, but it was still part of it. All right, now we get to being on site. This is what the stage looked like when I got there. The stage is literally built on the water up from nothing. They put the stage on top of the water and the audience sit in banked seating on the land. And then there are these little shaky, terrifying bridges that we cross to get over to the stage. The orchestra are underneath the stage as well as all technical departments, but we are also on top of the stage as well. Oh, here we go. Here's a reel I posted of the site getting built. This is a flat lay of all of the mics that we were using on cast members. All the leads are double rigged and all of the ensemble have a mic each. There were 50 radio mics in this show on 39 different cast members and a hat. This is a photo of the back of the stage, including some prop and the harbour bridge. As you can see, there are crew members behind the prop pieces, and this was a part of the auction. Oh my God. So this was the first flood. The orchestra pit would flood. So this show operated rail, hain or shine. Rail, hain or shine? Hain. Rail, hain? rain, hail or shine. And the only reason that we would stop is if the orchestra pit flooded or it became unsafe to do so. So if it was raining, tough titties, it's raining. We're enjoying some rain together. I think this was still in previews actually, or maybe it was in our first week. This is in the orchestra pit. As you can see, there are plastic bags all over the chairs. We are trying to patch up the roof and it's just leaking through. So as soon as the orchestra pit would start to flood and we couldn't keep people and their instruments safe from water, they would evacuate. The show would have to be cancelled. We only cancelled the show twice during the entire season. One of them is the viral video that happened of Past the Point of No Return, where Georgie and Josh are getting just absolutely soaked. Just after that, we had to stop because the pit did indeed flood. And there was a time where we had to stop it because of the pit flooding. I think it was during interval. But this was definitely a rehearsal. I'm pretty sure these photos were a rehearsal. The upside to working outside was that at the end of Act 1, every show we would have fireworks that happened off the harbour. I'm pretty sure this was not actually our fireworks from memory. I think this was someone on the harbour just letting off fireworks, but we all stopped to watch. It was very wholesome. This is at the end of Tech Week and there was a bunch of us just sitting and watching the fireworks at the back of the stage. This is Emma, who was my radio MoniqueTech that I worked with as well. She was the junior to me. We are in literally our office, which is under the stage. As you can see, there is a fluoro pole that I'm sitting on, and that was something we had to walk over all the time. There was racks behind us. We were right next to the guy doing video. It was a tight fit. It was a very tight fit. Oh my God, this is where we would do mic check from. This is where the console was, where Emily operated from. You can see the staircase and the chandelier and the beautiful like boxes that are in there. This is the view from side stage for the bridge that we had to walk on to get across to under the stage. So there was this thing called the L bridge, which was literally, you know, those pontoons, I think they're called, that move with the water. It was literally just an L of those strapped up to go to the stage, which was very fun to move gear across. You can see lighting all along the side of the stage. You can see little festoon lights from the little restaurant thing they had set up, and the chandelier looking beautiful and stunning, but also all of the water. There was so much water. We were literally on the harbour. Many crying tears. This is a video that Opera Australia posted from opening night when Andrew Lloyd Webber came to bow with us. A really cool part of this show was that the cast and crew and orchestra all bowed. So that's all of us on stage. There's a lot of crew like at the back. So that is all of us. Cast, orchestra, crew, except obviously for the people who are stuck up in towers. Oh my God, this is opening night where pre-show, while the wonderful Georgina Hobson, who was our Christine, was getting ready, I was painting her toenails because a MoniqueTech's job is never just doing mics. This is what I mean when I say the difference between what I will do for people that I like and what I will do for people that I don't like. If I don't like you, I will do my job. If I do like you, I will paint your toenails on opening night while you get ready for the show. Everyone was taking a really long time to get ready, so I was just killing time, and there I was. This is myself and Matilda on opening night. Matilda is an incredible all-round tech really, but predominantly she works in lighting, and on this show she was in the prop department. Matilda is one of the best people in Australia to work with. If you get a chance to work with Matilda, I am jealous of you because I'm no longer working with her. She's currently on tour with Moulin Rouge, which makes me very sad. We met on Hamilton and we just completely fell in love. And this is us together on opening night. This is, I think, the only good photos I got that night. That night, we also got rained out. At the end of the show, there was a DJ set being done by Andrew Lloyd Webber. It had begun while we were doing our pack down, and then the sky opened and we flooded and we had to stop. These are some beautiful professional photos that were taken of the show. There is our crew bow. That's all of us together on opening. Well, not all of us. That's quite a lot of us together on opening night, which is very cool. The cast on stage, a whole bunch of beautiful photos of everyone on stage, which is so lovely. This was me trying to be funny with my intrusive thoughts through TikToks, making Emily checking one of our cast members, Brie, her mic into a metal song. You get it. If you get it, you get it. This is a photo that I took with Paul during rehearsals. If you've seen any of my Phantom content from the indoor tour, you know that Paul and I are two brain cells reunited. This was one of the first photos we took together in rehearsals. As you can see, the bridges in the background. I think that's Michael behind us. Yeah, we were just in rehearsals being cute. Look at us. I love this photo of us. Oh my God. So, top of every show. My first cue at the top of every show was to strike the gavel mic. The auction truck, there was always like an auction gavel mic thing for the bangity bangs at the top of the show. The auction truck on our show was like a podium that was lowered onto the stage. It went up and down the stage on a track, and then on top of it, there was a microphone. At the top of the show, I would start at the absolute back of the stage with all of the guys who were involved in the auction. At the call of the show and like the, yeah, good, clearance, go, whoopity whoop, let's do the thing. They would all walk down on stage and do it, and I would be waiting at the back of the stage to collect the microphone when the truck came back. We started taking a selfie together every single night at beginners, and I documented them every week. And here is the first collection of them. Got some strong looks. I think this is from, yeah, this is the opening weekend and the first full week. So we've got both Jax, Pedro, David, Lachlan, and I all taking photos. They get increasingly more chaotic as the season goes on. That is the point where I could be seen on stage. I found a photo somewhere where you can kind of see an outline of me or where I would be, and I will put it in somewhere. Audience could see me. I could see the audience. There was a general understanding that you could see the crew sometimes during the show. We tried to stay out of the way as much as possible, but you definitely could see the crew at a lot of points. A lot of mechs, props, everybody else, every other kind of department. A lot of departments were on stage doing cues a lot of the time and definitely could be seen, but we didn't have any proper wings. We didn't have a proper backstage area, so it kind of had to happen. Cute little video of the fireworks at interval. So this little angel is the gravestone mausoleum situation that Christine sings Wishing You Were Somehow Here Again to. This was like the auction truck. It would move up and down stage and get craned onto the stage from the barge, which is what you are seeing floating around in a way that makes me very uncomfortable. In this video, the barge was at the back of the stage. That is where we would go to put those things. They would get craned onto stage. The chandelier was also craned above the stage. There were two cranes operating the show, and it was a very beautiful view for the fireworks. This is me setting the microphone for the auction trucks. I'm on top of the truck, putting the microphone down. I think it's raining in this photo. That is why I look so disheveled. It's at least windy, but it's a very cool photo. More professional photos of the show. You can see the lighting trusses in the back of this. You can see the pyro we've got at the front. You can see the dressing room truck, which turned into the layer on one side and the dressing room on the other side in the center of stage. The giant, beautiful staircase, which was obviously made use of in Masquerade, and a whole bunch of the audience. They're just out there in the world, in the raw elements, just living their little bliss for the show. This is a really cool photo of the chandelier, photo of me and Jack and Giselle backstage. This was, I think this was a tech run. It is very commonly known that they will use body doubles for the journey sometimes, so that the journey looks more extensive. And on this show, because the stage is so horrendously big, we had body doubles for Christine and the Phantom to go across the different parts of stage before the actual Christine and Phantom would emerge. This is him in costume for that. I also just loved the costumes for this show because the Phantom having like a black set of costume and mask is so sick. We have another week of upstage beginners. You can see into David's soul. This is a photo from under the stage of me checking and fixing someone's microphone underneath their dress. We look like one of those horse costumes where one person is the butt and one person is the head. As you can see, all the cast are sitting in like chairs along this row, and there is wardrobe bits hanging up everywhere. To the right, if you went behind me, you would find props, sound, and video in that direction. And then to the left is where the principal dressing rooms were in shipping containers, and behind us is where the orchestra was. It was a very small space. This is what I look like most of the time at work. I'm just getting up into people's costumes, just trying to check their connections, trying to check that their mics are good and ready to go. It is very awkward and people are very kind about it. This is myself and Matilda and Bridget on site. We are at the little, they set up like food areas around the venue because obviously we're in the middle of nowhere, so they had to supply food for people. You can see the stage behind us and we are just sitting in this little space having dinner before the show. Another week of upstage beginners. This one was very wholesome because we got special guests involved. We can see Paul and some of the opera girls in the background. And also, this was the night that Lachlan went on for Raoul with absolutely no notice, so we've got somebody else standing in for him, which is very cute. This was the sound team sitting on the stairs. There was quite a lot of us because we had someone for comms, two different people from the company who supplied the gear who were there to help, the operator, and two mic techs on the show. That is the auction truck at the back of the stage that I would set the mic on. This is a good view of it. I believe this is an interval because the chandelier is sitting on the stage, and then it would get raised up and taken off for Act 2 after it crashed. This is again from the console, from the tower that Emily operated from. This is a photo of all of us in a final tech rehearsal that we did where where everyone got to do their cover parts in full tech because the show only ran for a month. There weren't a lot of covers who actually got to go on for their roles, so they were able to do it in this rehearsal. As you can see, Josephine has the head that Carlotta carries at the start of the show. We are all in raincoats because it was raining. Who is surprised? As you can see from the very sinister sky, but you can also see the harbour behind us, which is very cute. This photo, one of our lighting guys, Kieran, took from the spot where they operated from, is so beautiful. This is literally the background for my laptop. I love it so much. This is the show preset at the top of the act, ready to go. There is lights on the stage. There is all the chairs set around the auction and the chandelier ready for people to come and sit in it, and then the auction will happen. It was such a beautiful view. That is the L bridge that I was talking about that you can see. That is how we got to stage. It was very big and scary and spooky. It was just such a beautiful show. I somehow managed to lose footage of me talking about these last few photos. So here we have a couple of photos of the sound team. This is Ricky, Emily, Emma, and myself on set. Every department kind of got photos like these. This is the entire company of crew. This is everyone backstage in the office. This is all of us who make the show run, not on stage. This is the entire company on our final show all together in this circle. This was such a beautiful moment. I'm so glad that somebody got this on camera because it would never have been documented otherwise. This is our final upstage beginners. The boys thought it was a photo, but it was definitely a video. And this is my favorite photo of me ever. Pedro took this on film during one of our intervals where we were looking at the fireworks, and I just look so happy. I look like a girl working her dream job. That is it for my posts. Let's go to my stories. Here is me on my first day, heading to rehearsals. I miss that apartment. All right, this is my first day on site, a little boomerang. This is the L bridge of us trying to get fucking stuff under the stage. This is them pushing cases. Had to go up this little ramp. This is the view from side stage while they were building it. They were still building the stairs. As you can see, that little weird floating looking panel is gonna become the stairs at one point. Me keeping packets of crispy M&Ms in my work pants for obvious reasons. Here we have me building mics, labeling them, putting them together. It was the first time I'd ever done that and it was terrifying. This is the signage out the front of site as it was being put up. I'm gonna throw up. This is a really cool photo of the boxes being built and the stage. You can see the stairs still also being built, which is so cool. Ooh, this was the Joseph Bouquet dummy who was so creepy and under the stage. Some more set pieces backstage. This is the microphones, but this is also part of the managers wore these creepy teddy bear costumes and these were the heads that they wore. It was terrifying. Video of the console and the site being built. This is us waiting for fireworks, I think, or just taking videos of the harbour. Yeah, I'm just taking videos of the harbour. The first flood, here we go. There is Matilda and Ricky trying to stop the pit from flooding. There is everyone trying to evacuate from site.
Hi.
That is us trying to tape the roof together to make channels for the water to run down. Emma and I listened to all of the So Fresh albums through the process of the show setting up to decide which was the best one. Early 2000s was a banger. Everything after that was pretty garbage, to be honest. This is Emma and I belting up, walking under the stage to mic up the lead cast. That crane is in replacement of where the chandelier will be. Matilda started a fire. So we had a fire happen under the stage during one of the tech rehearsals and were evacuated off the island. They sorted it out. We're working with a lot of power. Things like that happen. But Matilda was involved in the fire starting. She didn't cause it, but she was there when it happened. So the joke was that she started the fire. Andrew Lloyd Webber was there for his birthday, which was wholesome. Another really cool reel that Opera Australia put together of us doing rehearsals. It's weird seeing the empty audience for these, but how beautiful is it? I die. This is us eating before we do makeup. Matilda and I backstage. As you can see, it's raining. It's literally raining. That is the entrance to site. As you can see, the stage is in the background. This was the little pamphlet thingy they made. In this photo that Andrew Lloyd Webber posted, you can see me fixing someone's mic. This is our mic check for opening night. the program where you can see all of our names. This is Paul's opening night card to everybody. It doesn't require words. The audience for opening night and us walking onto the L Bridge for the start of the show. One of Emily's gifts for me for opening night on my little pants. This is opening night. What a weird moment that they are dancing right now to ABBA and Lewis is now Sky in Mamma Mia. There is the rest of us on. There was a lot of ABBA. What is going on? Molly, Giselle. That was a really fun night. The day after, the first show after opening, you can see speakers stacked on the front of that little plank of wood situation on the front of the stage. Dinner on site. These are photos from opening night. I'm so tall. No. Emma is everything to me. Me and David, Pedro, David, photobombing Pedro, me and Lachlan, me and the boys, power outage on site while I was trying to belt up. Us again, avoiding a flood during the show. They're literally playing Prima Donna right now. And we are trying to collect water in buckets. That's Ricky, who is clearly soaking wet. The creepy doll again. Opening night photos of Koshi, Giselle, me, Jack. Oh, I love this photo of the stage that I took. As you can see, the stage is wet. Reviews started coming out of the show. 5 stars, you'll never forget it. Oh my God, look at this photo of, this is the entrance to the lair. Right now she is doing the big old note. You can see the Phantom in the background doing little phantom-y things. Very cute. The fire looks so sick and the gondola, oh! Another rainy night. All of us at the half chatting. And here we see the viral video. It's actually insane. That dress was so heavy. She absolutely killed it fighting for her damn life in that thing. It was soaked. You can literally see the water running down the stage. It was a raked stage, so you can see it pouring off the table, pouring off Josh's hat. Those cups were probably full. How gross. The cast soaked. The audience soaked. Everyone soaked. Also, one set of costumes. They had one set of costumes. One set of costumes they had to get dry. Are you joking? Wardrobe were fighting for their life. A really windy night. So that was exciting. Lewis, when he went on for Rao, this is the old Rao look and his little moustache. I monitored once, which was exciting. Back to my roots. All the lighting boys annoying us while we check mics. Pedro, ladies and gentlemen. Pedro carrying the energy of this show. This is exactly what I meant when I said that Pedro carries the energy of this show.
Going once, boom, going twice, boom, boom, going 3 times, boom, 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 to the pit.
I miss Pedro so much. Here I am under the stage. All the cast have walked across. This is us at the top of the site, having knockoff drinks. Matilda and I backstage, having a very romantic little moment. Us eating dinner, having another romantic moment. Oh my God, Abby came to see the show. So sweet. Koshi looking absolutely jacked because they were wearing their suits of armor for Hannibal underneath the auction clothes. Me and Sarah, well, she looked like a little eggy. It's beautiful. Me annoying Elliot during offstage singing. Sydney has recorded more rain so far this year than it usually gets in a whole year. We felt that. Reason number 705,000 million why Pedro is everything. Pedro took notice of how we delivered his microphone and would always give it back to us perfectly wrapped up again, because Pedro is life. Be like Pedro. This is a reel of Josh getting into Phantom makeup, which when I saw the preview of it, I was like, wow, you cut me out. Oh my God, so rude. And I made a big old deal about it. And then I realized I'm in it and I'm just stupid. So that's fun. There I am. This is Kieran scaling the stage. Boomerang of the barge at the back of the stage. Lachlan after he went on for Rao. Me being put in a cupboard. This is outside of the ensemble dressing rooms and outside of our office on land. We were right next to all the ensemble boys, and these little shipping container wood boys were what the costumes were stored inside of. And me, apparently. Me miking Paul. I'm changing his battery actually. Paul making me laugh because he's a dummy. Checking the gondola. We had a birthday party for Ricky on Hosh. Emily brought in lots of food. It was very cute. Before the top of the show, I was annoying Emily. Lewis being everything to me. Oh my god.
Wait, is this fucking play about us?
Okay, so I have a torch, right? The torch does all colors, and we realized in the dressing room that Josh, Callum, and Paul shared that if I moved the torch around, it created a little rave. So this was a video of us raving in the dressing room. And I think next is it from Paul's video perspective. I miss those boys so much. Behind the scenes. Please someone tell me in other countries if it is a thing for your like lighting. It's always lighting. It's sometimes other departments, but it's always lighting departments to wear hideous, ugly shirts on a Sunday. Because it's a thing here. The lighting department just vibing on stage together. Chaos. Photos of us backstage. This is Imogen, who then did Other Phantom, Georgia, who just played Christine in Grease, David and Jack. Easter. Wow, it's literally Easter right now, today while I'm filming this. We had a barbecue for Easter and Spencer and I cooked the barbecue. The lighting department getting their team photo, like the ones that I showed you of sound, but they made sure they had a light in theirs, which is how else will we know, you know? This is our tech rehearsal. Again, it is raining. Who is surprised? Me getting more silk workwear. Silk workwear carries me professionally, I told you. Andy sleeping on the floor in his dressing room, which when I look at this, I'm like, your neck is not okay. This is Callum and Georgie singing at the end of All I Ask of You under the stage, doing the offstage singing part. And me, a member of Wham and a member of Wigs are there to make sure that the wig change happens well and that no one is there talking while they're singing. Me and Koshi backstage. Sarah being incredible. Me and Jack and Ryan backstage. Our last show. Emily gave us snacks. This is Callum and Matilda taking a ride in the crane, which, no, never. Could never be me. Horrific. Terrifying. But what a view, hey? It was such a beautiful show. As much as it was chaotic and terrifying, and there's the other view. As much as it was chaotic and overwhelming and wet and all of the things, it was so beautiful. This is Paul and Callum being heinous together. The photo that Matilda took of me from up in the air on the stairs. This is closing night. This is us at, we don't need to see these. Anyway, we're done. And that's it. That's all of the Hosh content. That's all the photos and videos I took of the show while I was doing it. Like I said, if you have any questions about the show in particular, please leave them below. I didn't really know what questions people would have about the show, what they already knew or what they'd be interested in. So I thought I would at least just do like a run through of my content of the show. And then we can do a part 2 of questions if anyone has any. Please leave them below and I will make sure to answer them either in their own dedicated video or in a Q&A upcoming. Please make sure you are following along to see the next shows that I'm working on. I'm currently bumping in the Tina Turner musical. I make a lot of content about the mics and working backstage in the shows, which is heaps of fun. I have some very exciting things coming up. Make sure you check out my Sook Workwear video and make sure you go check out my videos to do with the other shows that I have worked on. Subscribe so you see what new stuff goes live. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Make sure you follow me on Instagram as well because that is where the chaos gets posted. Like TikTok and Instagram is where the not fluffy content of the shows happens. I will leave my Instagram link below and I will leave my TikTok link below as well.